Hey guys, so we're doing a little bit of a mashup today. We are going to be playing with some new makeup from Dior and some new makeup from Tom Ford. So I purchased all three of the new Dior Backstage Glow Face Palettes. So the first one is number 4 Rose Gold. Then number 3 Pure Gold. That's the first one. Number 4 Rose Gold and number 5 Copper Gold. So we'll be doing cheek swatches of all of those palettes. I'll try and use as many shades as possible. There's 4 in each. And then I did purchase the new First Frost Tom Ford Quad, eyeshadow quad. So I'll be putting that on my eyes. And I also purchased the Balm Frost. So let's go ahead and start with the Dior Backstage Face Palettes. I have experience with the previous versions of these, and I love the formula, and I do like the effect on my cheek, but they have a lot of micro glitter in there, and I'm not always the biggest fan of that, but I was really curious how these look, and I do think it's, you know, the micro glitter is kind of a fun thing for like the holiday season, and I feel like now that we're wearing face masks, this is kind of like a fun addition instead of like lips, you know, doing like a bright lip or like a glittery lip, that I could add a little bit of glitter to my cheek. So anyway, I kind of purchased these because I was curious about them. I do like the formula. I do enjoy Dior products for the most part. I guess I'll go in order. I'll just start with number 3, Pure Gold. And I did kind of open these up. I ordered them from Sephora, and 2 of these, I can't remember which 2 of these came not shattered, but the actual like shade was like kind of lifted out of the pan, almost like it broke away. So I just kind of had to press them down. This one is very golden, as you can see. And here's a close-up of the palette. And here are the swatches for this palette. So I basically swatched from left to right, top to bottom. So first we have metallic yellow gold, then we have sheer gold gold, then we have shimmer warm gold, and then we have metallic platinum. So I'm just reading off of the back here. So the metallic, sheer, and shimmer, those are the finishes for these products. So I'm sure you could see from my swatches that all of the shades in here have quite a bit of micro glitter in there. And I don't see, when I figure swatch them, I don't see that much of a difference between these 3 finishes that they're stating, the metallic, the sheer, and the shimmer. They all look fairly similar to me. They all look kind of the same. They all have a very metallic base, and then they have quite a bit of micro glitter in there. The only difference really is the shade, the actual color. Now, I will say that these 2, the top left and the bottom right, so this is yellow gold metallic and this is platinum metallic. They look a little bit different in the pan. This one looks a little bit lighter than this one, but when I swatch them, they look virtually the same. But let's go ahead and apply them to my cheeks. I just realized I put foundation and powder down, but I didn't put any bronze and blush down. So let me do that quickly. I've got the Dior, what's the full name? The Dior Skin Mineral Nude Bronze. This is the Color Games version. This is one that came out in the summertime, and this is the deeper shade. So I'm gonna try and focus my brush on the outer ring here. And because I want to see like the shimmer of this highlight all on its own, I'm gonna use a matte blush. So I pulled out the Wayne Goss Blush Peony blush, and I'm just gonna throw a little bit of this blush on. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and apply this shade here. This is the metallic yellow gold. So I've got my Sonia G Sculpt 2 brush. Just going to dip in here. For as light as this shade is, so I think like the tone of this works on my skin tone, it is really yellow. I feel like it shows up on my skin a little bit more yellow than I see in the pan. I mean, it is called yellow gold, so that definitely is a tip off, but it definitely appears a little bit more yellow on my skin than it does in the pan. So I guess I'll do 2 from each palette. I'll do 1 on each cheek for each palette. I do think this one's gonna be too dark, and I definitely think this one is just too yellow for my liking. I mean, maybe if I wanna do like a little bit of a blush topper, it could be a nice, like really light kind of dusting of that. But in terms of like straight highlight, I think I'm just gonna go between these 2. So let me try this one, this metallic platinum one. Okay, so here is platinum and here is yellow gold. Yeah, and on my cheeks, they definitely look different enough. So I take back what I said, that these two seemed too similar to be in the same palette, but they definitely have a different effect actually on the cheeks. I like the platinum a lot more for me. The yellow gold does ring really yellow on my cheeks. This one is much more neutral. It's like more champagne versus yellow. And I also want to point out the platinum definitely seems a little bit smoother. I mean, there's definitely micro glitter in there, but this yellow gold definitely seems more sparkly, and I actually see more fallout from it. I see like sparkles on my cheek and down here. I don't know if the light's gonna catch it, but I see like little bits of it kind of falling all over my cheek, where this one was a little bit cleaner. All right, so that is 2 shades from the Pure Gold 003 face palette. I'm gonna take all this off and then I'll be back and we can play around with the next one, 004 Rose Gold. Okay, so next up we've got 004 Rose Gold, and I did just want to mention this pan. I think you can see it's like, well, I could probably, and so let me stick that back in. So it came out and it ended up getting a little bit messy, but at least this pan is like still intact. I'm just gonna blow away some of the loose powder here. And I just have to be careful, so I'm just gonna hold this one down. But here is the Rose Gold palette. And here's just a nice close-up of it. And here are some swatches. So again, I just went from left to right, top to bottom. The first one is Sheer Gold Pearl. Next is Metallic Pink Gold. Next is Shimmer Rose. And then the last one is Metallic Golden Peach. So this top left one seems the most similar to the two that I tried in the Pure Gold palette, the one before. So I'm not gonna try that one. So it's really between these 3. I think what I'll do is use these 2 as highlighter and then use this kind of as a blush topper, this one in the top right-hand corner, since that's the pinkest. So I'm gonna start with this shade in the bottom right-hand corner. That is Shimmer Rose. And from what I can tell in the swatches, this is the one that appears to not have any micro glitters in there. It seems to be the smoothest. So I'm just gonna go ahead and use my Sculpt 2 brush again. I am wiping this clean between each use. And has a little bit of like a duochrome, like a pinky shift, or like a holographic shift. Yeah, and no micro glitters. So I'm just buffing that in. So there's the Shimmer Rose shade. That's really pretty. If you want to pair it with like a cool tone blush, that's lovely. And then next we're going to go into this Metallic Golden Peach shade and use it as highlighter on this cheek. And this one, I definitely see a little bit of micro glitter in there in my swatch. So let's see how obvious it is on the cheeks. But it definitely looks smoother than the gold ones that seem to be like really, really sparkly. This one seems more frosty. Yeah, and I can see the obvious difference between like this pink tone and this peach tone. Oh, really beautiful. I love this. I love this peach tone. All right, and for this top right-hand shade, this metallic pink gold, I'm gonna use my Sonia G Smooth Buffer brush. I'm laughing because every time I see a shimmery, illuminating type of blush like that Chanel one, I just want to use this Sonia G brush and like buff it over my blush. So that's what we're gonna do. And I'm gonna focus this like on the back part here. I want you guys to be able to see it. Yeah, it's like right here. So the highlight has like a cool kind of holographic tone to it. And then the deeper pink shade that I use as a blush topper, you can see over here, it's a little bit more of a straightforward neutral kind of pink tone. Definitely very, very highlighty. It's like lighter. Like when I did this with the Chanel illuminating blush, I felt like it added a little bit of like blush pigment to my cheeks. It added like a little bit more heat to my complexion. But when I do it with this one, it actually is making it look a little bit frostier. Definitely much more of like a straightforward highlight, this product. Wow, really pretty. Okay, so we just played around with these 3 and I didn't get a chance to put that one on. But so far this one is my favorite. I really like this option of one without any micro glitter in there. All right, so let me take this off and we'll move on to the last one, which is 005 Copper Gold. All right, next up is number 5, Copper Gold. So here is a close-up of this palette. And again, I had a pan or two actually kind of come out of this one. I think this one and this one I had to press back in there. But here's a close-up of this palette. And then here are some swatches. Again, I went from left to right, top to bottom. So first we have Glitter Coral. Next we have Metallic Copper. Next we have Shimmer Tan Bronze. And then finally we have Sheer Golden Bronze. Yeah, this pan won't stay in there. So this as a highlight obviously is going to be a little bit too deep for my skin tone, but I want to brush a little bit of this on like where I bronze and just see how that looks, see if it just adds like a little bit of sheen or if it's just like a little bit too sparkly. But that one definitely has a bit of micro glitter in there. So I'm definitely going to take it easy and apply just like a very light amount of it. I'm going to use one of my Wang Artist Collection brushes because it has such a soft touch. And I'm just going to lightly dip it in there. Oh wow. That did not work at all. It just looks like I put down really dark brown glitters. It doesn't look smooth at all. Can you guys see that? That's odd. That is nothing like the swatch. I have it swatched right here, which has, you know, like a smooth satinness to it. Wow, that is interesting. Whoa. Okay, I'm gonna take that off because that just looks like a streak on my cheek. All right, that shade is not for me. I'm thinking it may be a great eyeshadow, so I'll have to try that out at another time. But let's go ahead and use this shade up here. This is the Glitter Coral. This is one that has like a little bit of a holographic tint to it. It also has some obvious micro glitters in there. So let's see what this looks like on my cheek. Sorry, I have to wipe off my Sculpt 2 here. Ooh. This reminds me of one of those limited edition Dior highlighters that have come out over the past couple of years, like in the round compact. Pretty, definitely not like an everyday highlight for me, but a lot of fun. The more I buff, the more I'm buffing away the micro glitters, at least for this one. Some of them stick, like in that Pure Gold palette, those weren't buffing away, but I feel like the micro glitters kind of buffed away from this one. Let's go ahead and try Sheer Golden Bronze, which is this one in the bottom right-hand corner. And out of all of the shades in this palette, sorry, this pan keeps popping out. This bottom right-hand corner one seems to be the smoothest and have the least amount of micro glitters in there. Oh yeah, that's a really nice smooth highlight. Ooh, that's pretty. Yeah, that one is really, really wet looking. Oh, nice. And this one up here, I really don't know how I would use this one. It's a little bit too deep for me in terms of highlight, but it's a little bit too light in terms of like a bronze topper. I guess I could use it as a blush topper if I was going for like a tangerine blush, like really warm kind of look. That could be nice. So I'll definitely have to use that in the future as like a blush topper. So those are all three of the Dior Backstage Glow Face Palettes. If I had to choose one to purchase, if you have a similar skin tone to mine, I think it's pretty obvious. The rose gold one I think works the best. I think all of the shades in here can be used on my cheeks. And in terms of the other two, I feel like I kind of have to pick and choose like which ones I'm going to use from the palettes. In the copper one, we obviously have ones that are a little bit too deep. And in the gold one, they are a little bit more festive and not every day. And I doubt I'll be using like this shade in the bottom left-hand corner. It's a little bit too deep. Like this one, I could see myself using for something really festive if I wanted like a gold accent. But I think what I need to do with all of them is try them actually on my eyes another day since we have the Tom Ford to play with. So those are the Dior Backstage Glow Face Palettes. I'm really excited to check out this eye color quad. So again, this is in First Frost, and this is part of the Soleil Neige collection for 2020. So they had a Soleil Neige collection for 2019, and I loved that collection. I loved all three of the eyeshadow palettes. I love the tinted balms. I love the glow sticks. I love the glow drops. Anyway, I could go on and on. So I was excited to see this. I don't know if they're gonna come out with more Winter Soleil products because this is one of my like favorite collections from Tom Ford year after year. I just love the Winter Soleil collection. But it seems like there's only these two pieces at the moment, this eye color quad and this balm. So let's go ahead and take a look at the eye color quad. Here is a close-up of the palette. And here are some swatches. So I go from left to right, top to bottom. And we are definitely going to be doing some comparison swatches with this towards the end of this video, but I really want to get this on my eyes. This Tom Ford eyeshadow formula is one of my favorite eyeshadow formulas of all time. You can use them wet and dry. They just go on, it's such a beautiful way when they're dry. I just really like the kind of like sheer, soft, yet pigmented application that they give. So let's get these on my eyes. I'm going to use my Sonia G Builder 3 brush. And I'm gonna go into the top right-hand corner here. This is the pinky kind of shade. And I'm gonna add this to the inner portion of my lid. Ooh. It has like a bit of a duochrome to it, so it comes off, like when you just look at it, it comes off kind of like a golden shimmer color. You can see like a light pink base to it. Ooh, that's really pretty. So next I'm going to go into the deepest shade here in the bottom right hand corner, and just going to add this to the outer corner of my eye here. It looks a little unblended because what I wanted to do is take a fluffy like blending brush like this Crease 2 from Sonia G and go into the lighter brown shade just very lightly and use that to blend out. Let's see how that works. I wonder if it's too deep. I think it's helping a little bit. Also add a little bit of dimension there. And I'm also running it like where the deeper shade and that pink shade kind of meet. I'm gonna grab my Sonia G Pencil 1 brush, go into the white shade in the upper left-hand corner. Pick up a little bit to add to my tear duct area. And drag a little bit onto my lower lash line and upper inner corner here.
Do I have foundation in my hair? This whole time. I'm so sorry. Don't mind that.
You know, as basic as this eyeshadow is, I feel like it looks so sophisticated. There's something about the Tom Ford quads. I feel like, I don't know, whatever shadow combos they use or the shades that they decide to use for these wet dry formulas, I just feel like they come out making me look so, yeah, sophisticated. All right, I'm going to add a little bit of eyeliner and some mascara, and then we'll move on to the balm. All right, eyes are done, and now on to the Balm Frost. It comes in this limited edition gold packaging. Really cool. It's a fingerprint magnet, but it's really cool. Wow. Here is a close-up of the bullet. Isn't that beautiful? Oh my God. This could be the prettiest lip product I've ever seen. And here is a swatch of it. Wow, you can really see how iridescent it is. Holy smokes. There's like a really strong, at least in my lighting, there's a really strong kind of like green shift to it. All right, let's go ahead and apply. Okay, the glitter in here, I don't feel it, but I feel like it looks a little chunky. Like I just see glitter bits kind of, I don't know, there's either not enough of them or there's too much of them because they're just kind of like hanging out in strange places on my lips. And I don't smell any fragrance at all, which I'm surprised about. I love the milky effect that it gives. I do like frosty lip products. I'm a child of the 80s, what can I say? I do love frosty lip products. I can definitely do without like the glitter bits. Like there's one there, one there, one there. Like it's just weird. It's weird. Again, it's like not enough or too much. And the iridescence definitely is more prominent in my hand swatch versus on my lips. I don't feel like it looks quite as daring as it looks on my hand than it does on my lips. I actually quite like it. It's definitely growing on me. I like this kind of like gold, kind of frosty duochrome shift that you see on the lips. Oh, so interesting. I'm definitely gonna have to try this like over another color. I wonder if this would be better as like a topper, but it does seem like really pigmented on its own, you know, like thick in a way, not very sheer. So what I also wanted to do was just do some comparison swatches to some other Tom Ford eyeshadow quads that I think are maybe a little bit similar to this first Frost quad. Now that I have this in my hands, I don't think it's as close as I thought it was going to be to some of the quads that I have in my mind. But let's go ahead and take a look at these comparison swatches. All right, I hope you found those comparison swatches helpful. I gave you my thoughts on the products as I use them. I really like everything. This eye look is totally growing on me. I just feel like it, like I said, I just feel like it makes me look very sophisticated. So thank you so much for watching. And if you have any questions, please let me know in the comments section. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe down below if you haven't already, and I'll see you in my next video.